Hello and welcome to Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the film Lee, directed by Ellen Kuras. So I hadn't really heard of Lee Miller prior to watching Civil War, where the two female photographers discuss her work. So I was quite looking forward to this film, especially as the trailer looked quite good. I didn't hate it, I was engaged enough to enjoy it, mostly. However, overall, I was a little bit disappointed. The biggest problem for me was that it didn't really feel like a feature film, at least in the first act before we get to the war scenes. I don't know if it's the music or the dialogue, probably a little bit of both, but it felt like a glossy TV series. The second problem is the format of the film. It's such a cliched biopic formula. It felt really clunky at the beginning. It's not that it's badly done, it's just that it felt a very obvious formulaic approach. The third problem I had with it was that the twist felt really clumsy at the end. It's hard to put my finger on why, but it just didn't feel satisfying. And I think there are inconsistencies that don't work so well with that twist. It's not really consistent with things that happen in the film. I won't give any spoilers away at this point. Perhaps I'll be more specific at the end. Don't worry, I'll give due warning if there's going to be a spoiler. My final gripe is that the CGI used in this film was pretty wonky. I think it was an independent film, so maybe they didn't have the budget. But the bomb scenes, some of them just didn't look realistic. There was particularly one pile of rubble leaning against a house that just looked terrible. It's only actually when I say all of this that I realise that I do seem to have significant problems with this film, and I could go on. I wasn't really keen on Lee Miller. I didn't feel engaged with her fully as a sympathetic character. I know that she's not meant to be perfect, and of course it's fine not to shy away from the imperfections in a biopic, but I never felt that I particularly liked Lee. I do like Kate Winslet. She is an excellent actor, and she plays the part really well. Perhaps it's okay that I didn't love Lee as a person. What she did was incredible, to get into those places, to document those situations, to allow us today to see how terrible those events were. This can only be highly praised and admired. Perhaps that's enough. Perhaps that's the purpose of the film. Sometimes people that do the most incredible things are highly imperfect people. This film just didn't have the impact that Civil War had on me. In Civil War, the action scenes were fantastic and the main characters were really compelling. I just didn't find Lee anywhere near as compelling. It's perhaps not a fair comparison because I think they are quite different films. I don't think Civil War is taking itself too seriously, whereas I think that Lee is being earnest in its attempt to deal with the Holocaust. But the film feels a little too lightweight, kind of not enough gravitas to be a serious film about the Holocaust. Overall, I didn't think that there was anything original about the way this film is made. I think the cliched biopic format and the interview structure, it just didn't feel right for this story. It was too orthodox. Also, the style felt too much like a TV series or a made-for-TV film. I think it decided it wasn't going to be an action movie like Civil War. That was probably a right decision, but it just didn't have the heft that I think it intended to have. It didn't quite make it as anything else. That said, it's a great performance by Kate Winslet. It is worth watching, but I'm not highly recommending it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.